All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is December 23rd, 2025. I'm not scheduled to be in the room tomorrow or Thursday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I just want to wish everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land, as well as everybody in the room, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I don't know when I'll see you again. Some of you might be on the road traveling to family. I wish y'all safe travels. Please be careful. We want you back when you get back, so please make it back safely. Take your medications. Okay, everybody out there. Want to see you back here healthy. All right, when you get back here. So, with that said, I'll go ahead and start the evening video here. We'll do the little market wrap up, how I made $5,900 with a $106,000 account. I used only 10% of my account, which was $10,600. So let's go ahead and take a peek at the market today. See how it closed. So you can see we had a 10-minute uptrend right here that lasted all day. Okay, I mean it's still going. You can still see a little bit of daylight. If you squint your eyes, there's a little bit between the 3 EMA and the 8 EMA. All right, so you see that wedge that the 8 EMA makes with the BYOB line. Okay, whenever you see that mouth of that wedge growing, okay, that's money right there. That's money. That's opportunity. That's you know what it is. And you see price consolidate for more than 6-10-minute candles. Usually, most often, I'm going to say 95% of the time, means they're committed to this area and they don't wish to leave. They may leave, but they don't wish to leave. And they're probably going to just grind away at overhead supply until they can get through to go higher. So it looks like they're committed to going higher right here into the closing hour or closing minutes. So it's a beautiful 10-minute uptrend. Again, where could you have taken this trade was right over the base. And I'm just going to cut off that peak right there. Okay, so right over the base right there. So huge 5-minute, 10-minute igniting candle breaks the top side of the base. Okay, and then you got to pull back. And that was a place to enter right there. And the 10-minute uptrend takes off. And you can stay in it all day. If you look at it between 11 and noon, we have, this is what I call my trend day qualifier. You get 10-minute uptrend. That's the candlestick riding on the 3 and the candlestick riding over the rising 8. Okay, and all three of them over the brown line, which is VWAP, between the hours of 11 and noon. Okay, whenever you get that, there's a 70-80% chance price will continue with this 10-minute uptrend till 2:30, and then there's a 30% chance that it will close at the end of the day, near the high of the day. And whenever that happens, that is a sign of strength. Look at that push. Little push into the last minutes. Wow, they're getting through 688. There they go. Should have kept my calls. Should have kept my calls. It's okay. I got others. Anyways, price action, nice consolidation, nice push into the end of the day. Again, closing at the end of the day, at the high of the day, is very bullish for the following day. And I wouldn't doubt it if they gap up tomorrow. Okay, so watch for that gap up tomorrow. We'll see. So 10-minute uptrend coming into the close. You can really call it bullish consolidation. They're not really pointed up, but that is bullish consolidation right through there on the 10-minute chart. Oh, it's going to go right back up. I'll bet it goes right back up. 2-hour chart. You can see the candlesticks riding on top of the 3 EMA. Okay, the 3 is riding over the 8 with the candlesticks. So the beautiful 2-hour uptrend. All right, my favorite trade, I spelled it out early this morning in the early morning video. I said my favorite trade is the 10-minute uptrend that resides over VWAP, that resides inside the 2-hour uptrend. We have a 2-hour uptrend that resides inside of a daily uptrend, inside the weekly uptrend, inside the monthly uptrend, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. And that's exactly what we had today. And of course, you saw how that 10-minute just lasted all day, like Viagra, you know, just boom, all day long. All right, so 10-minute uptrend all the way into the end of the day. Okay, when you get that, those bigger time frames help support the little 10-minute uptrend, okay, to last longer and go further. Okay, so there's 10-minute uptrend right in the close, got the 2-hour. I just showed you. There's that 2-hour uptrend. Now we go to the daily chart. So the daily candle, okay, we're dangerously close of clicking the all-time highs, which is right over 690. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, okay, over the 17 EMA, okay, at the very top of quadrant 4, okay, all the way up here, okay, at the top of quadrant 4. This is the all-time high anchored VWAP. This is this pink line right there. We're up over that. So there's top of quadrant 4. Here's our April low. So that's bullish and in an uptrend right there on SPY on the daily chart. Bullish and in an uptrend on the daily. Weekly, see all the green dots? Okay, top of quadrant 4. That's bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, bullish and in an uptrend way up here. Okay, on the monthly chart, see all the green dots? Bullish and in an uptrend right there on the monthly chart. Okay, so let's take a look at QQQ. On the 10-minute chart, okay, you have an entry right over the top of the base right here. Okay, that was an entry. So if you got in here, you didn't make the lower low. Okay, so the lows held, and then price came right back up there. So there you got your 10-minute uptrend with your entry right here. Okay, just as price rips over the top of the base, right here, there's your entry candle, and you have a nice 10-minute uptrend all the way into the close. Again, closing the day at the high of the day is very bullish. So 10-minute uptrend on QQQ all day. Again, my favorite trade for QQQ is 10-minute uptrend. Okay, that's inside of a resides over VWAP, that resides inside of a 2-hour uptrend. You can see the yellow line over the white line. Both are pointed up. Okay, that resides inside of the daily uptrend. Okay, you can see price. There's a low. We got higher lows. We got higher highs. So we're in an uptrend. Okay, higher low, higher high. Actually, this is outside day for today on the QQQ. Looks like a lower low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Weekly, top of quadrant 4, that's bullish, and in an uptrend. Monthly, bullish, top of quadrant 4, and in an uptrend. You can see on the daily chart, this is our April low, okay, and that's our all-time high up there. So beautiful uptrend right there on QQQ on the 10-minute chart. Okay, you can stay in that all day long, right up until the close, probably even into tomorrow. So this is bullish and in an uptrend on QQQ. Nice work on QQQ. Let's take a look at IWM. And we'll look at it on the daily chart. So IWM didn't help us at all today, and we needed help. We could have used some help, but I guess you could say we got by without it, but price action's the lower high and the lower low. Okay, we'll just pick up a clean chart so you can see it. See the lower high and the lower low. And we closed just over the bullish trap and over the flat, see the dots, 17 EMA. Okay, so we're still up here at the top of quadrant 4. Okay, so that's bullish and still in an uptrend. Okay, so price action did not close, or it did close over that. Yeah, it closed above that pink line, which is the all-time high anchored VWAP right there. All-time high, so. Take a peek one more time. Yeah, closing over that all-time high anchored VWAP. So that's bullish. So to close over that, but let me just say, price did not move up much at all today. Okay, you can see for the most part, it really just put in lower high, lower high, lower high, equal high, and just pinch. This is winding up. It looks more like a pinch to go lower than it does to go higher. But you have a low, some higher lows, another higher low, and then you got a blast off, all right? And now you're coming back, and now you've got lower highs, lower highs. So I don't know where it goes tomorrow. Hopefully that catches on this with the triple bottom and starts moving back onto the upside. So the 10-minute chart on this, okay, was super wavy, was not worth trading. Nothing but chop, chop, chop right there. So on the daily chart, you can see lower high, lower low, closing over the bullish trap and over the 17, top of quadrant 4 that's bullish. April low, all-time high, and in an uptrend for IWM. Still in an uptrend, even with today's candle. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, over the 17, that's the green dots, okay, over the bullish trap. Top of quadrant 4, that's bullish. Here's your April low. There's your all-time high. Pink line is the all-time high anchored VWAP, closing over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish and in an uptrend for Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at FNGU. All right, FNGU got a nice candle. We needed that candle badly. We really needed it badly. We needed more from it, but at least it's going in the right direction. Okay, so price action is an outside day, like QQQ, lower high, lower low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap under a falling 17 here. Okay, so this red line represents major support. So if you box off all of this consolidation right through here, okay, that's all. Top side would be minor support. The bottom side would be major support. You can see we broke through some major support, only to land into another 2 months of consolidation right here. So price action right now bouncing off of the major support line of that consolidation. Okay, so it's headed back up towards the majors. This will be minor resistance as we come back up to it. It's kind of imperative that we break through it if we want to see SPY 700 or SPX 7000. We're going to need some help from the FNGU. All right, we're going to need some help from technology. So we'll see what happens. But right now, it is what it is. We got what we got. We're still in a downtrend because we haven't made any higher highs. Okay, we got a nice candle today that was welcomed. We needed it on FNGU. It's still in a downtrend, and it's no longer neutral. It has climbed into the upper third, so it is now bullish up there, but we still need it to move up. All right, just because it's up there, we still need to see some more bullish. If they could hold, I'd rather not see them hold. I'd rather see them move up, but a hold is just as powerful as a move up. Sometimes more powerful is the resting hold than the move up, because the move up does not present a platform for which price to fall back on, whereas this would present a platform for price to pull back on. So we'll see what happens. So really nice move on FNGU today. Badly needed for the SPY to get higher and the QQQ to get higher. So there's the daily chart. Okay, again, Here's the April low. We're finally back up here in the upper third, so that makes us bullish, no longer neutral, bullish, but still in a downtrend. Thanks, Tex. You too. All right, so there's FNGU. Let's take a peek at technicals. No, let's take a look at silver and gold. So here's silver, and yeah, we put in a new all-time high. So drop the mic. It doesn't get any better than that. Okay, that's obviously if it's putting in new all-time highs, it's bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, here's the origin of this move here. Starts in 2022, right there. Okay, bullish and in an uptrend. Gold, same thing. Okay, new all-time high on gold. You can see, obviously, bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, it's hard to make a new all-time high if you're bearish and in a downtrend. So that's bullish and in an uptrend. And you can see the origin of this move starts in 2022, right there, gold. Bullish in an uptrend. UNG had a beautiful day today from one of my traders. Okay, so he bought the dip on a cold snap. Very nice. He got a higher low and a higher high. Look at that move. It's like a $1 move on a $10 stock. That's huge. All right. So there's a high low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap. Under the falling 17, okay, under the 2025 high anchored VWAP, that's the purple line right there. Okay, so we're down, we're still, even though it's a beautiful candle there, we're still bearish because we're down in the bottom quadrant 1, all right, and we're still in a downtrend because we haven't made any higher highs. In order to make a higher high, we have to come all the way up here and produce a higher high up there. I don't see that happening because since they just made a new all-time low yesterday, okay, so I really don't see us taking out that high anytime soon, but you never know, all right, but there's price making an all-time low yesterday, so nice bounce off of that area. Gotta say, look at that bounce. So UNG, bearish, still in a downtrend, even with that beautiful green candle we had today. Let's take a look at USO. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap. See the 3 is on top of the white 8 EMA. Over the 17, notice the red dots hook and they turn green over the 17. Okay, still under this downtrend line. Okay, we've got a low, they made a lower low, so we've yet to make a higher high. We'd have to take out that high. Okay, so they're still in a downtrend. Okay, they're not in the lower third, they're not in the upper third, so they're just neutral right here at the midpoint. So neutral, all right, and still in a downtrend right there. You can see, and they're still trapped underneath this downtrend line, which they need to break through. Okay, so that's USO. Maybe spring of 2025. 2026. All right, we'll see. There's USO. All right, let's take a look at technicals. First one we'll look at is, I'm going to go this way, is T2101. This is market breadth. Now, I haven't seen it yet, but price moved up, and I'm hoping breadth didn't dip again today. And it did. All right, so that's something I did not want to see. Okay. Let me just say that that's normal at this time of the year for breadth and participation to dip because a lot of the professionals have gone on vacation and they're spending time with their families. God bless them. And I hope they have wonderful holidays as well as everybody listening. Okay, so breadth did dip. All right, so the markets are thin with participants and breadth, as you can see, as price moved up, but yet the participation dropped, okay? The one thing that we don't want to see is price move down and participation increase, okay? That would be a very bad sign. The fact that it's dipping now, this is kind of normal for this time of the year. I just want to remind everybody there's a lot of people on vacation this time, a lot of people traveling, they're on flights, they're going skiing, they're going to see their families, all right? So participation dipping at this time of the year is normal, but we really don't like to see that, okay? So things could move rather quickly and sometimes much further than expected, being since the market is so thin. Okay, so that's T2101 regarding participation and absolute market breadth. Let's take a look at T2122. Okay, so not the best. Okay, as you can see, remember I said IWM didn't help us out much today. So you can see IWM, we got a low, we made a lower low. We got a high, well, we made lower highs. So we wound up spending the day camped out inside the seller's chop zone and at the midpoint. So not really where I wanted to be, but if that's what it takes for us to get back to the buy zone and the overbought zone, I'll accept it. But that's not where I wanted to be, okay? But I guess IWM having a hard time today. Not sure why. Not sure what news came out, but they definitely had a rough time of it today. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they're not rolling over, and that is a possibility. We'll see. Okay, so let's look at T2123. So if you look at this, most of the day we spent at the midpoint, okay? I like to spend it at the bullish side of the midpoint, not the majority of it at the bearish side of the midpoint. So T2123, 15-minute chart. Okay, so we were in an uptrend because we got a high and we made a higher high. Well, we made a low and then we made a lower low and then another lower low. And we have a high here, which we did not take out. Okay, so just an equal high right there. So we're still in a downtrend. But we're consolidating over prior consolidation. Okay, if I was to box this off, see all of this is consolidation right there. Okay, so we're in a downtrend, but we have to look at all of the facts. Okay, and you can see we're in consolidation over prior consolidation. That's bullish environment. Okay, the fact that they're holding these highs up here today. Okay, so that's still bullish up there. We're up over the rising 200 SMA. That's bullish. That's where I want to be if I'm a bull, and that's exactly where they are. I'll take it, all right? Can't ask for everything, all right? But you notice we do have consolidation over prior consolidation, so that's bullish. And we're up over the 200. That's bullish. Okay, can't move up every single day, all right? But look, they've moved up and they're holding those highs still. So that's bullish. Also got a gap up here from a few days ago. Okay, notice they're still holding that gap open. Okay, so the bears still have not filled this gap. Did they fill this gap? Yeah, they got that one. They still have not filled this bullish gap up. That is a very good sign. Price gapping up, and the bulls are still holding the gap open right there, right? And holding those higher grounds. So I like that. It's not bad. It's not exactly what I wanted, okay, but it is moving in the right direction. So let's take a look at 3-bar chart. 3-bar chart, you can see this is the neckline of a prior head and shoulders that got busted up due to price decapitating the head right here. See how we moved up past the head? So that voided the head and shoulders pattern. And we got price right now is up on top of this 200 SMA. That's exactly where I want to be if I'm going to be a bull. All right, so on top of that flat 200 SMA, we have a high. We made a higher high, so we're still in an uptrend. If you look at it from quadrant 4, we're in the middle of quadrant 4, so that's bullish up there. This is the April low. That would be the all-time high. So that's bullish and in an uptrend. Notice we do have a slight inverse bullish head and shoulders. This would be the head. That would be our left shoulder, and this would be our right shoulder. So give it some time to break this neckline, all right? And maybe we could see a melt up maybe in the next week or two. Possibly. We'll see what happens. That's 3-bar chart. Okay, so here's FNGU, and FNGU doesn't stink today, okay? Price action for FNGU is nice, making highs and higher highs, so it's 15-minute uptrend. I'll take it, okay? Lots of green dots. I'll take that. Yesterday we closed under the 200 SMA. Today we're closing over the 200 SMA, okay? That's where I want to be if I'm a bull. Okay, we're still underneath the major support. We're still underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. We are over the 15-minute 200 SMA. That's bullish. Okay, we like that. And you can see price. Remember what I said earlier? It's no longer it's climbed back into the upper third. So it's bullish up here. And on the 15-minute chart, it's in an uptrend, all right? But on the daily chart, it's in a downtrend still. Okay, so again, we're making higher highs. So nice work on FNGU. All right, that's it for me for today, okay? I'll see you guys all on Monday. I wish everybody happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and whatever holiday you celebrate. I wish you happiness and joy. Take lots of pictures, make some positive, good memories, and I'll see you all hopefully safely here on Monday, and we'll redo it again. And if I don't see you on Monday, maybe I see you in the new year because you're out traveling, and that's okay. All right, so looking forward to your return. All right, I will see you all next Monday. All right, cannot guarantee that I will have the pre-market prep posted in the room. I will do what I can, but I do want to enjoy my family. All right, so we'll see you guys all on Monday. Everybody take care. Remember to follow your trading plan. All right, follow that trading plan. All right, follow your rules. All right, and we'll see y'all on Monday. Merry Christmas, everybody.